little pauses to me, man, that shit sounds so incredible to me. I want to get back to the song. This shit is nasty.
I'm gonna start this back from
Nasty.
the beginning. Charismatic frontman can do a lot.
Yeah, boy.
Can do a lot for a band. They can make a band and kill a band.
Nasty though.
That
is
no
nasty.
wrong to me.
That is nasty.
The riffs and my man Peter Steele's voice.
Really, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me, guys. So, but we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. And it's never mind. Keep it going, George. just keep it going. Check us out on Patreon, guys, where we give you our exclusive access to all of our videos, 186 videos and counting.
Bangers too, though. Bangers. You know, nothing too shabby. I mean, I don't know, like a Led Zeppelin marathon. We got Metallica on there, some Megadeth stuff. You know, I'm just saying, just throwing that out there, man.
What's up, guys? Your boys are back. I'm Ryan, my man George.
Yeah, what's up, guys? How y'all living out there, man? Shout out to the free thinkers, and of course, shout out to everybody that's been following us on Def the Radio, which is DEAF2 Radio. That's our new Instagram. Make sure y'all follow us there.
And as always, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and make sure the notification is set to all, so you're getting all of our notifications. Up-and-coming artists, make sure you click the link in the description. We'll do about 60 seconds of your song in front of one of our up-and-coming videos to get you some exposure. Make sure you check that out.
All right, man, we're doing In Flames today. We went with Moonshield because that was a decent size request for this band based off of the comments we saw on Patreon. This is straight out of Patreon.
Yeah.
We did that Dark Tranquility. It was a little Dark Tranquility. Yeah, Dark Tranquility. Punish My Heaven is what we did. And underneath that video in the comments, you guys said, well, I mean, it gave y'all a lot of hope. Y'all like, oh, y'all was kind of fucking with this? Oh, yeah, and In Flames, because I guess you guys said that they're a bit more of a accessible version of Dark Tranquility. So I'm like, okay, that's intriguing because Dark Tranquility was a lot. We were impressed with a lot that was going on in that song, though, man. And so that wasn't a bad offering, and it was a very entertaining just song in general to react to. So, I mean, hey, if this is a slightly more accessible version to that, okay, you know what I'm saying? Some Moonshield it is. Okay, so In Flames, man, they're a Swedish heavy metal band, right? Formed by guitarist Jesper, what is it, Stromblad? Could be wrong on that. In Gothenburg, same area, of course, is Dark Tranquility, alongside At the Gates and Dark Tranquility. In Flames pioneered the genres known as Swedish death metal. So again, another death metal band and melodic death metal. In Flames, Moonshield. You know what, though? You know what I'm looking up right now? You can see on my screen right now, right?
Fluffy shirts?
Like that one. I didn't know the name of it, so I put fluffy shirt in the 1800s. You remember them poet shirts that they would wear with the little fluffy like thing in the 1800s, like the poets would wear? Yeah, that's what the first part of the song sounded like, and I feel like somebody had that shirt on when they were playing those melodic, and then they ripped off the fluffy shirt. And they had a leather jacket on and shit underneath it. I think it's called a poet shirt, man, is what that is. Had a very sort of regal, 1800s feel in those chords to me.
Yes, I do hear that. But you know what I loved about that, though, George? I know we just started the song. It's very melodic, right? Melodic death metal. And in the way that the guitar riffs came in at that transitional point right there, I really enjoyed that because it kind of got me into a kind of a groove, you know, a little head nodding groove. And then it brought the intensity of the guitar work and the drums in there. I don't know. I think I am a fan of that because I think it's almost a subtle and smooth way to get you to the aggressive death portion of it. You know, it's very like palatable. It's very like, you know, oh, okay, yeah. And then, and so I like the way that they did that, man. So I don't know. I might be a fan of the melodic death metal scene, you know what I mean? Because I really like the way that they did that. Now, it could take a crazy detour, but I really like the way that sounded. It was very smooth and subtle, and it just the transition was very just palatable. It really was, man. It just was smooth. So I thought that was cool.
Apparently, the shirt that I'm talking about is on the episode of Seinfeld because I see Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh.
So it's like a white men's blouse. I'm sorry, because I gotta make it sound more sophisticated because Ryan kind of blew my spot up when he said fluffy shirt. So I typed in fluffy shirt. Let's keep it going.
I'm enjoying this listen. I really am. I will say though, I'm gonna kind of make a regressional statement here. The statement I'm gonna make is probably gonna sound like I'm regressing in my metal kind of like journey here. But as I'm listening to this, George, and I hear the vocals on top of the melody and how they're playing from an instrumentation standpoint, it I think to the novice ear, you're like, what the fuck are they doing? They're fucking up a totally good groove, you know, with the harsh vocals. So I think if you were not used to hearing metal or death metal, or melodic death metal in this case, I think you would be like, yeah, the vocals just totally take me out of it. But to the more seasoned ear, not that I am, but you can clearly hear that the guttural growls that this has is a stark contrast, but in the same token, it does fit what's happening musically. You know, it's in tune with the melody. So it's not as stark as a novice listener would think it is. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Because it's still kind of raw, instead of just, you know what I'm saying? Instead of it just being just a whole bunch of guttural growls and not having any melody in it. Yeah, you know? So I'm still not a fan of the growls, but I can kind of see what is happening here. And I feel like they're doing a good job with being in tune with the melody, with the vocals. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
It's definitely not as distracting. I think I'm personally attributing it to just not being as in the front of the mix. I just feel like it's buried a little bit in the mix of the song, but I do hear what you're hearing. I feel like there is a cadence that I can actually hear the lyrics. I can actually hear what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? When he said nectarine sunset, I was like, ooh, okay, nectarine sunset. The imagery there. You know what I'm saying? But I can hear it, you know? And then, yes, he's just, and naked and buried and under the worlds and so I can hear the cadence and him sort of riding the beat there.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Riding the groove, dare I say. So yeah, it's cool. I don't like it though. You know what I'm saying? My ears are still novice, but we're working on it. We'll see as we listen to more. Who knows? You know, I mean, it's been 5 years, but hey, maybe a 6 that'll take it. You know? And the vocals added to these chords make me feel like it's an old school. It makes me think of old school horror. Okay. I should say, like something like Dracula. You know what I'm saying? Like something old school.
I can see that.
Transylvania during that time, right? Transylvania in a monster is lurking in the darkness and the sort of the instrumentation that was used around that time. I just feel like that's what this genre tends to try to encapsulate a lot of times, is just that the old school sort of fantasy, sci-fi, horror chords and way of playing that classical feel. It's a cohesive song. Nothing, transitions are flowing very well, very, very smooth. I think the chords, the mellow, right? This is melodic death metal, right? So it's death metal, then there's melodic death metal. Yeah. Yes, you said this earlier. I really feel like I hear the melody in the chords. I feel like it's just a bit more of a softer beauty to it than I feel like as far as the harshness of just straight up balls to the wall Cannibal Corpse and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You fuck with Cannibal Corpse. Yeah. You fuck with them a little bit. A little bit. From what I remember. I don't know. We need to go back to that Cannibal Corpse. Not a bad listen at all. Let's keep it rocking.
have it all. I don't have it all.
Probably a good thing, right? Yeah.
Man.
Very tasteful.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
I was trying to catch the little transitions there. I caught a couple, when the guitar work came back in, the powerful chords. I think I caught that one, but then they kept me guessing at the end. But I enjoyed that, man. Throughout. I don't know. It's kind of one of those listens to me, George, that it'll make my playlist, but it's very specific. This is kind of like a long drive. I'm just kind of kicking it because even though it has the powerful guitar riffs in it, it's still mellow to me. It has a mellow feel to me, and this is probably nowhere near mellow.
Yeah,
but it seems mellow.
Yeah,
isn't that weird to say?
Yeah, especially throughout the song, but there's definitely specific parts as well that really highlight what you're saying. But the entire song to me is a more mellow, at least in comparison to other
right
death metal songs. So yeah, I hear that.
So I enjoyed it, man, and I feel like this would be a good song because what I try to do, guys, I don't know if you probably notice this because I say it a lot, but I try to, when I'm listening to songs on the channel for the first time, man, I'm trying to put these songs in like 2 different categories. Categories of songs that's just like my shit, and I'm gonna just like immediately, or songs that I may have to grow up, maybe 3 categories. So songs that's my shit. Second category is songs that may have to kind of grow on me, but there still there's enough in there that I would like. And then the third category would be songs that I could expose other people to. And to me, I feel like this is it has the correct amount of balance of the stuff that I like, those hard guitar riffs, but still melodic enough that it could maybe, I don't want to say convert, that's probably the wrong word, but just kind of expose people to. And to this type of music, especially people that didn't grow up listening to heavy metal or anything like that. I feel like this could be something that people could really digest a little easier because they have the breaks, but it's still melodic enough in the powerful guitar work. The powerful guitar
it's not
work,
overwhelming.
Yeah, it still has a good little melody to it. So that's playlist for me, man. And I get, like I said, it's gonna be specific.
I'm about to go crazy in them comments, boy. I'm about to flood us like it's over now.
Yeah, but I like it.
That's good though.
Yeah. It'll
I'm happy. That's good to hear that.
Specific, use case for it.
But it made it. Fuck it.
But it'll make it.
Fuck it. It made it. That's all they heard. Yeah, it made the playlist. Fuck all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? No, but dude, listen, man. I agree with a lot of what you said, man. This is interesting because I always forget that Gojira is technically death metal. They're like progressive death metal. I always forget that. And I'm like, when I think of a melodic death metal versus like, I think standard death metal. Hold on, let me Google it real quick. Okay, just to make sure, the saying Gojira is like technical death metal, progressive groove metal, whatever. When I think of like melodic death metal, I just think of it's a sophistication to it. It doesn't feel as raw and just guttural and just visceral, right? And I appreciate it, and I do like that. And I think that there are going to be songs that I think will be the right fit for me to kind of make my playlist. This one isn't it, but I really just enjoyed that listen. I just think that when it comes to death metal, man, Gojira just seems to hit that fucking sweet spot. With Joe's vocals being more of an aggressive shout versus a guttural growl. It's an aggressive shout that's in key. That's just a sweet spot, man, for me in death metal. Not to say that we can't have because Bolt Thrower just made my playlist, so I don't want to hear it. Bolt Thrower, Those Once Loyal, which we just did, was yet another death metal. It's almost like we're in a marathon. Yet another death metal song that made my playlist. So it's not that the shouting style is the only thing that can get my attention to make my playlist, but it just has to be that right combination of not the vocals not being too forward in the mix, not too guttural, not too low, and also the riffs being nasty and raw and visceral. And I think that's going to probably be my sweet spot on those songs. Are probably going to more than likely make it because Bolt Thrower is a little bit more visceral. Gojira is more visceral and raw. This is more beautiful and sophisticated, but still, it's almost like it's a sophisticated killer to me. You know what I mean? Because it's the growls are still like, it tells you like this ain't some soft shit, clearly, right? So it's almost like a vampire. It's like a sophisticated killer. Like, I got a suit on, I got a little thing, I'll wine and dine you, then I'm gonna bite your neck and drink you dry. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still gonna kill you. It's just gonna be in a more sophisticated, sort of subtle way versus somebody going up with a motherfucking machine gun and wiping out your whole faction, which is a little bit more raw, right? Which is what I would feel Gojira and some of these other raw, visceral bands are. So I just feel like that this didn't quite hit the sweet spot for me, but I thought it was beautiful. I thought the transitions were great. I thought the growls weren't really that distracting. They were a little bit lower in the mix for me. I do like that. I do like the fact that I was able to catch his cadence within it versus it just being a bunch of jumbled growling. And I do think the melodic riffs in this were just it just reminded me of an older time, like it was trying to capture like a fantasy of an older time. So I just thought that this sounded really, really good, man. So definitely more. Give us more from In Flames. I'm almost positive they're gonna be able to we're gonna find something that gets me completely over the top. All right, man, that's the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed that, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And also, guys, check out our Patreon channel if you're interested. It will allow you to get exclusive access to our content. The link for that will be in the description. I'm George. That's Ryan. Las Vegas.
We out.